Hello everyone, welcome to ChemTalk. Today I am starting part 2 of chapter 4 of class 11th, that is chemical bonding and molecular structure. In this part we will study about polar covalent bond and covalent character of an ionic bond, that is Fazan's rule. Topics covered in this part are polarity of the bonds, dipole moment, then dipole moment and molecular structure, that what is the effect of the molecular structure on dipole moment, then applications of dipole moment, and the last topic is covalent character of ionic bond, that is Fazan's rule. So let us start our chapter with the topic polarity of bonds. First I am taking ionic character of a covalent bond. Now we know that whenever the covalent bond is formed between the same atom, like covalent bond is formed between two hydrogen atom, then this bond is pure covalent bond, as the electronegativity of both the hydrogen are same. Similarly, if the covalent bond is formed between two chlorine atom, then also the electronegativity of both the chlorine atom are same, so it is pure covalent bond. But whenever the covalent bond is formed between two different atoms, two heteroatoms like HF, hydrogen fluoride, here fluorine is more electronegative than hydrogen. So what happened in this case? Suppose this is hydrogen and this is fluorine. Now in this case fluorine is more electronegative, so it attracts the bonded pair of electron towards itself with greater force, so it get partial negative charge and hydrogen get partial positive charge. So there is a polarity in the bond, and this polarity give rise to the dipole moment in the bond, and this is the sign of the dipole moment, plus and this arrow, plus towards the less electronegative atom and arrow towards the more electronegative atom. So in this way dipole is created in a molecule in which the atoms are having different electronegativity, and in this manner the covalent bond gets polarized, or there is ionic character in the covalent bond. Now resultant covalent bond is called polar covalent bond. As a result of polarization, the molecule possesses dipole moment. As I already told you, this is the sign of dipole moment. Then dipole moment is equal to charge into distance of separation, charge on the atom and the distance between them. The unit of dipole moment is dB. In short we express it as D, and 1 dB is equal to 3.33 into 10 raised to power minus 3 coulomb meter. Now the next topic is dipole moment and molecular structure. How the dipole moment depends upon the molecular structure. Now first I am taking diatomic molecule. Now before this you should know that dipole moment is a vector quantity. Vector quantity means its value depends not only on magnitude but also on the direction. Now I am taking the example of HF. It is a diatomic molecule, heterodiatomic molecule, and there is the electronegativity difference and there is only one bond. So the resultant dipole is in this direction, from less electronegative atom to more electronegative atom, and the resultant dipole is this only. But whenever we talk about the polyatomic molecules, the dipole moment not only depend on the individual bonds, but it depends on the dipole moment of the molecule. It is the vector sum of all the dipole moments of various bonds. For example, first I am taking the example of water. In water there are two bonds. This is one OH bond, this is another OH bond. Now the direction is from less electronegative atom to more electronegative atom. So this bond direction is towards oxygen, this again towards oxygen, and these are the bonds of dipole of the two bonds, and the resultant dipole of the molecule is the vector sum of these two bonds, and because these are directed in the same direction, so it is sum, and the net dipole moment in the water is 1.8 dB. Now next I am taking the example of BF3. Now here you see that fluorine is more electronegative than boron, so this dipole is in this direction, this bond dipole is in this direction. Now the resultant of these two is this, right, and there is another in this direction. So this dipole, this one and this one, they cancel out each other, hence the net dipole moment in BF3 is 0. Similarly in case of BeCl2, these are two chlorine atoms and these are similar, and the dipole is directed in this direction and this bond dipole directed in this direction, both are similar and opposite, so the net dipole moment is 0. Now taking another example, this is the case of BeF2. In BeF2 is the similar case like BeCl2. Again, the dipole moment is 0. Now the next case is CCl4. Now look here, CCl4, there are 4 polar bonds and the direction of the bond is from carbon to chlorine. But the net dipole moment of the molecule is 0 because the vector sum of all the dipoles is 0. So in this manner, dipole moment is a vector quantity and the value of dipole moment depends upon the geometry of the molecule, how the different atoms arranged in the molecule. Now next very important topic is dipole moment of ammonia and NF3. Now this is very important. Question कैसे आएगा आपका? Question आएगा that NH3 and NF3, out of these two, which is having more dipole moment and why? So let us explain this thing. NH3 and NF3 is having similar structure. Central atom in both is nitrogen atom. Then there is one lone pair in both nitrogen and nitrogen having lone pair in both. Now there are 3 bonds which are hydrogen is attached with the 3 bonds and here fluorine is attached with 3 bonds with nitrogen. So this is the only difference. Now this hetero atom which is attached with the nitrogen makes the difference in the dipole moment also. How? Let us see. Here in NH3, nitrogen is more electronegative than hydrogen, so the bond the dipole direction is this. First, second dipole is again in this direction, third is again in this direction. And always remember one thing, whenever lone pair is present, then the direction of dipole is from atom towards dipole. So all you can see that all the 4 dipole are in the similar direction. So the net dipole moment is the sum of all these and hence the net dipole moment is 1.46 dB. But whenever we talk about NF3, you know that fluorine is more electronegative than nitrogen. So these 3 dipoles are in downward direction. This is first, this is second and this is 3. And the fourth one is from nitrogen to lone pair of electron. So these are opposite to each other. So the net dipole is इन तीनों का sum करके हम उसमें से this dipole को हम क्या करेंगे, subtract कर देंगे. So the net dipole moment is very less and it is 0.24 dB. So out of ammonia and NF3 which is having more dipole moment, NH3 is having more dipole moment. Now the next is applications of dipole moment. The first application is dipole moment helps to decide the polarity of the molecule. Now how it decide the polarity? If the dipole moment of the molecule is 0, that means that the molecule is non-polar. And if the dipole moment is not equal to 0, that means it is polar. For example, CO2 is having dipole moment 0, that means it is non-polar. And water is not having dipole moment is equal to 0, that means water is polar. Now the next is dipole moment is used to determine the percentage ionic character of a covalent bond. How we determine it? The percentage ionic character is equal to experimental value of the dipole moment divided by theoretical value of the dipole moment into 100. In this way we can calculate the percentage ionic character of a covalent bond. Now next is it helps to determine the geometry of the molecule. Now how? Let us take some example. CO2 and CS2 both are linear. Now look here, this is the structure of CO2 and you see that both the dipole are in opposite direction, so the net dipole is 0, and because the net dipole is 0, hence we can say that it is having linear geometry. Now here CS2 again, the net dipole moment is 0, so we can predict that its geometry is linear, because in linear geometry only that both the dipole cancel out each other and the net dipole is 0. On the other hand, SO2, which is nearly similar to that of the CO2, but its structure is not linear. Why? How we can say that? Because the dipole moment is not 0. So we can say that its geometry is not linear, but it is having band shape, because the dipole is not cancel out each other and hence net dipole moment is not 0. It is more than 0. Similarly, H2O, water molecule, it is having dipole moment more than 0. That means the dipole moment is not equal to 0. That means its geometry is not linear, but its geometry is bent. Now the next is NH3. In NH3, 3 molecules are there. Like if we compare it with BF3, you know that BF3 dipole moment is 0. So we can say that BF3 is a planar molecule. Its geometry is trigonal planar like this. But NH3, which looks like BF3, but its geometry is not like planar. Why? Because its dipole moment is not equal to 0. So we can say that its geometry is pyramidal like this. We already explained this, and here is one lone pair of electron. So that is why we can say that NH3 is non-planar, because the dipole moment is not equal to 0. Now the next is dipole moment is used to distinguish between ortho, para and meta isomer. Now first of all you should know what is ortho, para and meta isomer. Now whenever there is benzene ring and two substituents are present in the benzene ring, then three possibilities are there. Now you know that this is the benzene ring, and if we say that this is the carbon number, this is benzene ring, this is carbon 1, this is second carbon, this is third carbon, this is fourth carbon, this is fifth carbon, and this is sixth carbon. Then if the substituent are present at 1 and 2 position, that means these two position, then this is called ortho, like this is ortho. So this is ortho dichlorobenzene, right? If the position of the bond is 1 and 3, then it is called meta. And if the position is like 1 and 4, then it is called para. So ortho, meta, para, three orientation is possible in the case of di-substituted benzene. Talking about the dipole moment, if the dipole moment is given, then how we can say that which isomer is ortho, which is meta and which is para. So first of all you see that here para isomer is symmetrical in nature and the dipole direction is chlorine की तरफ होगा ये वाला, और यहाँ पे भी chlorine की तरफ होगा, तो net dipole moment of this is 0. So this is non-polar molecule having dipole moment 0. So whenever the dipole moment is 0, we can say that the orientation is para. Now coming to the ortho and para, ortho and meta. Ortho is having more dipole moment than that of para. So out of these three, ortho is having maximum dipole moment, followed by meta, followed by para. Para is having net zero dipole moment. So with the help of dipole moment, we can distinguish and identify the di-substituted benzene, or we can say ortho, para and meta isomers of any molecule. Now the next is to distinguish between cis and trans isomer. And this is again very important. You know that whenever there is a double bond in the compound, then there are two isomers possible because the rotation of this bond is restricted. So the position of the nuclei are fixed. So whenever two same atoms are at same side, like two chlorine atoms same side, then this is called cis isomer, right? And if they are at opposite side, like this and this opposite side, transposition, then this isomer is called trans. Now in transposition, both the dipole cancel out each other. This is CCl in this direction, this CCl in this direction, and hence they cancel out each other and net dipole moment is 0, right? Now similarly here we can see that this dipole is in this direction, but the net dipole moment is not 0. The vector sum of this is somehow in this direction, and this is not equal to 0, means it is having value of 2.4 dB. Now next I am taking cis but2ene. This is the but2ene structure. This is the cis isomer, this is trans isomer. Again trans isomer is having dipole moment 0 and cis isomer do not have its direction is here, so it do not have 0 and it is having a dipole moment 0.330 dB. Next I am taking example of CCl4. It is having tetrahedral structure. All are chlorine atoms, so symmetrical structure. Now according to the dipole moment, this dipole is here and again this is here, this dipole is here and this dipole is here. So all the dipole cancel out each other, hence the net dipole moment is 0. Similarly in case of carbon, again all the atoms are same hydrogen, so the net dipole moment is 0. But whenever we talk about CHCl3, so look here, there is one atom of hydrogen but 3 atoms of chlorine, so they do not cancel out each other and the net dipole moment is not equal to 0. Now the next topic is covalent character of an ionic bond, that is Fazan's rule. As we see that there is always a polar character in a covalent bond, that means ionic character in a covalent bond. In the similar way, ionic bond also having some covalent character, and this covalent character of ionic bond is measured by the Fazan's rule. There are some points in Fazan's rule by which we can see whether the covalent character of a particular ionic bond is more or less. The partial covalent character of ionic bond was discussed by the Fazan's rule. Now look here how the covalent character comes into picture into the ionic bond. Now you see here, this is cation, this is cation, and this is anion. You know that cation is having smaller size, anion is having bigger size. Now whenever the electron cloud come closer to the nucleus of this, so it attracted towards the nucleus of cation. So whenever the negative charge goes to the cation, then the cation's positive charge decreases. In the similar way, anion's negative charge also decreases. So we see that the positive charge of cation and negative charge of anion both decreases. That means ionic character decreases. That means polarization decreases. That means there is a introduction of covalent character in the ionic bond. So you can say that the cation have ability to polarize the anion. So cation की क्या होती है? Polarizing power, and anion क्या होता है? It gets polarized, right? So in this way, the covalent character is introduced in the ionic compound. Now, how much covalent character is there in an ionic bond? It is determined by the Fazan's rule. Now, let us start the Fazan's rule. Fazan's ने 4 पॉइंट दिए थे. That smaller the size of cation, यहाँ पे हम लेके चलते हैं जितना छोटा स्मॉल साइज का कैटायन होगा, राइट, उसका न्यूक्लियस इलेक्ट्रॉन क्लाउड ऑफ एनायन के उतना ही नजदीक होगा, राइट. सो इट विल अट्रैक्ट द इलेक्ट्रॉन पेयर टुवर्ड्स इटसेल्फ विद ग्रेटर फोर्स. दैट मींस इट पोलराइज मोर, हेंस मोर इज द कोवेलेंट कैरेक्टर. नेक्स्ट, इफ द साइज ऑफ एनायन इज मोर, देन इट इज फार अपार्ट फ्रॉम इट्स न्यूक्लियस. ऑन द अदर हैंड, इट इज closer to the nucleus of the cation. Again, the means the polarizing of the anion is more by the cation. That means larger the size of anion, more will be the covalent character. Now third and fourth point again related with the first and second point only. Now we see that greater the charge on cation, you know that more the charge on cation, less will be its size, and more the charge on anion, more will be its size. So again, these 2 points favors the covalent character. So what are the 4 points? Smaller the size of cation, larger the size of anion, greater the charge on cation, and greater the charge on anion. These 4 factors favors the covalent character of an ionic bond. Whenever covalent character is more, then the melting point is less. We know that ionic compounds have more boiling point and covalent compounds are less boiling point. So if covalent character is introduced, then the melting point becomes less. When covalent character is there, then the compounds are soluble in non-polar solvents, because we know that polar compound dissolve in polar solvent, and covalent compound, that is the non-polar compound, dissolve in the non-polar solvent like ether, benzene, etc. Now let us take some example how this Fazan's rule work among different metal halides. Different metal halides means हम first period की अगर हम बात करें, like lithium chloride, lithium chloride, lithium bromide, lithium iodide, then next sodium chloride, sodium bromide, then next, तो जितने भी आपके first group के metals हैं उनके अगर मैं different halides की बात करूं, तो lithium iodide is the most covalent. Now what is the reason for this? Because lithium में the size of cation is least and iodine is the biggest sized halogen. Hence this lithium iodide is having most covalent character among all the metal halides of the first group, while cesium fluoride is most ionic. Why? Because cesium is bigger cation, fluoride is the smallest anion, right? Hence in this case the ionic character is more, so there is very less covalent character here. Arrange the following sodium halides in the increasing order of their covalent character. Now first is sodium fluoride, sodium chloride, sodium bromide, and sodium iodide. Now see, cation is same here, so we just concentrate on the size of the anion. The biggest size means more the covalent character. So iodine is the biggest size halogen, so NaI is having more covalent character. So the covalent character is NaI most covalent, then followed by NaBr, then NaCl, and NaF is having least covalent character. Now let us take another example. Arrange the different metal fluorides in the increasing order of their covalent character. Now metal fluorides में हम वापस वही फर्स्ट ग्रुप के फ्लोराइड्स ले रहे हैं, लिथियम फ्लोराइड, सोडियम फ्लोराइड, रुबिडियम फ्लोराइड, cesium fluoride. As anion is same, so we concentrate on the cation, and cesium having biggest size, so it is having least covalent character. Now one more example here. I am taking the example of CuCl. CuCl is more covalent than NaCl. Why? Now this is again a very interesting question. You know that in CuCl and NaCl the anion is same. Now copper and sodium are having similar size nearly and charge is also similar, right? So which factor determine the covalent character here? The factor which determine the covalent character is that the metal with typical transition metal configuration is more polarizing than the normal configuration. So here what is the which is the transition metal? Copper. So copper is having typical transition metal configuration, that is N-1D configuration. So copper is more polarizing, that means CuCl is having more covalent character than NaCl, and that is why that the melting point of NaCl is more, because it is more ionic. So क्वेश्चन आपका किसी भी तरह से आ सकता है, आपका डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन आ सकता है which is more covalent and which is more ionic, या आपका melting point से रिलेटेड आ सकता है, तो जिसमें covalent character ज्यादा होगा उसका melting point कम होगा. तीसरा आपका आ सकता है whether it is soluble in polar solvent or non-polar solvent. So if the covalent character is more, that means it will be soluble in non-polar solvent. If the ionic character is more, then it will be soluble in the polar solvent like water. Now again I am taking the question related to this point only, that lithium chloride is more soluble in pyridine than in water. Again, if I am talking about lithium chloride, lithium is very small sized cation, so it polarizes the chloride ion more, hence there is covalent character, and because of its covalent character it is soluble in the pyridine, that is non-polar solvent. Thank you. Hope you like the video. If you feel it useful, please hit the like button and also subscribe my channel for the upcoming video, and check the description box for the link of the previous part of this chapter. Thank you.